Hi, I'm Marcus Simon with EKKO Title, back with another video about the Bureau of Insurance letter on settlements. Last time we talked, we told you that the Bureau of Insurance had put out a letter explaining what the law has always been, which is that in Virginia, there's one settlement agent for every transaction. That doesn't mean that a seller can't go hire an attorney to represent their interests, but as a rule, settlement should be happening with the settlement agent that's selected by the buyer. Now, a question started to come up in the market a lot. We start to see this on our forum and other places. Well, if that's the case, how much can the title company selected by the buyer charge my seller? And if I hire an attorney to represent my seller, can the title company charge them again? Now, rather than answer that question, this video is for you as a listing agent. When you're a listing agent, you always should be asking yourself, what's in the best interest of my seller? What is in my client's best interest? And to get the answer to that, you need to be asking yourself really three questions. First, is there a problem with the settlement agent selected by the buyer? Is there some reason I wouldn't want my seller to go there? If you have an independent settlement company with offices that are convenient to you, that's been around for a while, and with people that you know and trust, there may not be any reason for you to take your settlement elsewhere. It might just be just fine for the seller to go there if there's no conflict of interest. The second question you want to ask yourself is about the transaction itself. Okay, this settlement company's fine, but this transaction, this is going to end up in court. I just know it. And sometimes you get that feeling. The buyers have had a different interpretation of the contract. It's clear to you that when you get to that walkthrough finally, the sellers and the buyers are going to be at loggerheads, and you're going to need to get a lawyer involved at some point anyway. So maybe now's the time to go get an attorney earlier in the process. But if the answer to that question is no, this is just a regular transaction and everybody's been really pleasant to deal with and everybody seems happy, then the third question you'll finally ask yourself is, how much is the title company charging my seller, and is it unreasonable? Are they trying to rip my seller off? At EKKO Title, for our seller size, once the BOI letter came out, we lowered our fee to $197 because we want to make sure that the seller understands that there's a value, not just an intangible value, but actual dollars and cents value in choosing to come to the table with the buyer at one settlement company. So if the answer to all three questions is no, no, there's not a problem with the title company. No, there's not a problem with the transaction. No, nobody's trying to rip my client off. Then it's probably in your client's best interest to go to the buyer settlement company and do this the normal way. The way that we always used to do settlements, right? I've been in this business for 18 years. And for years, we'd have buyers and sellers, not only at the same title company, but at the same table, looking at each other, signing their documents at the same time, exchanging keys and information. So there's no reason we can't go back to that model. That's what the BOI kind of said was the more efficient Virginia model anyway. It avoids the duplication of effort, the duplication of charges, and opportunities for people's information to get lost or into the wrong hands because of all the different places it has to go. So don't worry so much about, am I being charged an extra $100 here or an extra $100 there? Think about what is in your seller's best interest when you're a listing agent. Make sure that they're being taken care of and looked after. And I think you'll find if you go through that analysis, more often than not, nothing really needs to change. Let's go ahead and go to the title company selected by the buyer. Let's ensure, do our due diligence. Let's talk to them and make sure they're going to treat them fairly and charge them fairly. And then let's just go on with doing our business the way we always have and get on with selling more houses and finding more clients. This has been Marcus Simon. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, I hope you'd be so kind as to click the like button underneath here. Maybe even leave a comment, tell us what you liked best or what you didn't like. And if you wouldn't mind, go over to our YouTube channel and click subscribe so you get these updates all the time.